Hey! Hey Max, out of search wants to come too, right? Well, she's offline, so I guess I won't wait for her. Yeah, we have a trial day today. Hey, dog. My dog's here to be silly. And this is the first time I'm playing this on a new computer, and hopefully it's gonna be less slow and weird than my previous one. Oh, see? The text already clicking a lot faster now. Check it out. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Echo, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that 2:30 p.m. on October 15, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hannon in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this hideous crime. The evidence presented during this trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Echo, the prosecution may call on its first witness. Very well. I call for a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. I mean, he's the most familiar face to us, the players, because we've played the previous case, but he's been in court multiple times. Why is specifically familiar now? Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with this guy back here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works in the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. There's a security station here and there is a gate, see? Past that gate are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All of the production staff were in the employee area until noon. I can't get over how much faster this goes when I have a new computer. Look at it, it's so smooth! Then after lunch, the victim Jack Hammer went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the gas station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, at 5 p.m., the production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. Because of a murder. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should we listen to that whole thing again? Skip it. Actually, I'm gonna take a small pause right here because I need to get myself something to drink. My throat is dry as hell. And I'm gonna have a lot more talking to do right now. You can remember that. So the weapon murder was a spear? How medieval! Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the gas station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Oh my, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh dearie, no need to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. I'm King Shaming. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of a trouble getting his witnesses to say their name. Where the old bag, dearie? I'm not gonna read that. Oh, objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. Now we're just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the gas station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest has been doing the run-through since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the gas station. I was in the main gate from there until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by at me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and was heading toward the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Witness account. "1 p.m. got this gas station. Main gate from the... Well, hold on. I almost forgot something. Oh, well, I guess this one is going up without the chat too, because I forgot about the add-on to stream the chat. I don't know if I can pause it in the middle of the game now, but I'll have to remember to do it next time. So this one's gonna look like me talking to myself too if I ever chat somewhere in the chat. Anyway, yeah. Not that. How do you tab? And what we need is pause this photo. Let me get this straight, old bag, Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, this is the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. I wonder. So, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Mr. Witness. He's having trouble calling her old man. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make sure. Now that will be a twist, Max. if the murderer was Bigfoot. Please make sure all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know anyone would be so nosy? You'd be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow, old Windbag has even left Edward speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. That man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at this picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Whippersnapper! Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I have you know that I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their back. Everything I say is on the straight and narrow. The up and up! Yesterday... Okay, that's gonna be another round and I'm not reading this. Mr. Wright, please, for all of our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edward has met his match. Who was present at the run-through? Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's a still samurai, then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me. What exactly were you doing? Observing, just observing. What about the assistant? Oh, she was off moving back trucks around and such. So she didn't see the run-through then. Trip and fall? Yes! And to think, he's supposed to be the still samurai. Ah, well, you're here now, that's what's important. Good to have you here, Aleph. Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the still samurai. What a laugh! So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh hell! She was cleaning backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. Oh no, I forgot to put that on because this is a new computer. He has a lot of internalized ageism. Anyway, the thing, yeah. It's a new computer, so I haven't had the add-on that lets me add messages to the stream yet. I don't think I should add it right in the middle of the game. That seems kind of rude, so we'll have to do that one with me just talking to myself like a weirdo. And next time I'll remember adding it. I'll add it as soon as the stream is over. You may continue your test loading. He broke a prop? Sure did! Sure did! His own samurai spear. Samurai spear. The murder weapon? Luckily I was there with my duct tape to fix it! Strikes me as a significant detail. Better write this down in the court record. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest after lunch. First than that. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot, okay. I think we have heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where is this steel samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We were looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear the person is in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? I'm sure you're not sure. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. You have to consider that possibility also. Can you allow me to remove the doubt from your mind, Your Honor? Can the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Using any way to deflect the how did that quote go? Using any way to deflect the subject of the conversation. A weak tactic of a weak man. Something like that. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studios before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Cross-examination. Let's the count continue. Yeah, no one else went there. And now on that we present the photo again, because it says photo number 2. Hold on! Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate to the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the gas station records all security cam data. Ooh, you know, if you want to walk here at the studios, you might have an opening. This very computer printed out this photo. Noted on the back of the photo printed out the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know it means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Come on, Sonny. Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end that it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2. The computer only held the data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Hold there! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. The evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio on that day. And yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have raised the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. You watch your mouth, little snapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, there's a thing of missing to me. Can the witness please explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help! Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what that means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Oldberg? That's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. That day, after I finished my guard duties, I have one more important job to do. I go through the photos, go on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see? Have to think about it now. I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first time I've heard about that. Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it. Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Well, I'd say it was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected that. Another job? That's right, I check all the people that passed by the main gate there. I look closely at every one of the photos the security camera takes. Do you back up all the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yeah. But those computers are just so frustrating. Why does she have work then? How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Oldberg! Well, I didn't touch a suspicious looking new powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think about it, couldn't she gone to bed a little earlier? Now she couldn't back maneuver me out. Might be useful tactic to remember to use in my future career as a winner. Let's find more about this alleged photo. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? The more Edgeworth gets more and more sympathetic as his witnesses get more and more sucky. A fanboy. Fanboy? And Chum Chum? Still samurai fanboys. You're freaks if you ask me. Especially Oldberg. He got information about the rehearsal from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One of them was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in. They're coming through the drain. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So, on that photo you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Now, I'd rather be a bimbo than a capitalist. Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on the way to the studio that day. One was the steel samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop them. Can't catch them. A boy in his 2nd or 3rd grade. I thought it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to win the samurai spiel. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Wait! As I said, I didn't pay much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him. That court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense of the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. And I'm taking this 5-minute recess to refill my water because my throat is dry again. I still have half a case left with the old windbag here. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio! I was sleeping, honest! So who was the Steel Samurai in the security room? How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. I'm the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we going to do? First, we play for more time. Let's start targeting someone else who could have conceivably have done this. Right. It will take them so long to shoot us down we can get another day. Right. Well, if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick. It's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. I love that we're playing dirty on this. The court and I reconvene for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a young boy, roughly 10 years of age. The photo we have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else who could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant Mr. Willpowers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagree with the prosecution's claims. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Oh, interesting. Let's hear what you have in mind. However, be aware this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. Bullshit! If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, as if the stakes weren't high enough. Now, who was this person other than Willpowers who could have committed murder? And it's the security lady. It was the security lady! Wendy Oldbag! Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his legs in this picture. This means whoever was in that suit knew about this morning injury. Mostly maybe because they had been watching their action scene run through. There's only one other person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about that injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? The sniper. Oh there! Is this to Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go to the trouble of wearing a Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in that costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. I don't think so. He doesn't have a unique animation for that, so it doesn't count. Isn't the part that Edgeworth pounces? Didn't he usually jump in with an objection and some new damning evidence? Or is it just in my nightly fantasies? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. Now, Masaru, take this the whole way, press further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's action on that day. But why would they do something so horrible to poor Nana? You forgot that Mr. Powers had a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag's not a suspect. No hard feelings, I hope. No hard feelings! You wait just a minute! But about the other person who went to that studio. The boy! The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade school though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could beat my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thought, Mr. White? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, is it nice? Oh, yeah, right. Oh, is it nice to your kids or mean to your elders then, Snapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed, then let's see that proof, Mr. White. You have proof that shows that boy could not have committed the murder? And it's the card key, I think. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studio have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? Ruff. The old windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings for the current trial for the day. Mr. Edgeworth, please find more about your witness and the... What was her name again? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Yeah, on one hand, with Wendy Oldbag is kind of, an ageist caricature of, an ageist sexist caricature. On the other hand, they do love that they have that inexplicable recurring trope of a nosy old lady who keeps getting security guard and bodyguard jobs. She should have been buffed. That would have. Oh, there's actually concept art of the character who when they become Wendy Oldbag, who's like not ripped but big, large lady. Maybe I'll post it on my Twitter and on Discord. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Wait just a second. I'm not in the city of the off barking of the wrong tree. Me, I'm talking. Oh great! Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told you not to talk? Well, testify! My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There was some other people in the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been in the studio that day. I think you're going off accusing me. I'm not going to let them away scot-free. Miss Oldberg, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Haven't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Something is having way too much fun with the way you translated this character's name. Or with the way they wrote the name probably in the original dialogue. Press. So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less. Why didn't I hear about this until now? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. Who are those people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director. Should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run of their actions in the director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised when I asked about it. So where were those people? The director was in the employee area all morning for lunch. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Well, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? It was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. We go through the gate all the way to the left. Up in the monkey's heads for an hour. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? You told me already asked on that question, but take a break. Your Honor, it's weird because perjury is actually a plot point in one case, but every other case acts like it's just not a thing. We have learned that there were others at Global Studios on the day of the question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on defendant Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about. I think the law in Ace Attorney works like time travel in Doctor Who. It's whatever rules are best for the story at hand. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldberg, and more information about these other people who have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends today's proceeding in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. This is all. This court is adjourned. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Oh, really? It's nothing. Oh, should I say? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We'll have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for sure. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, we figured out just who it was in still samurai costume? Could it have really been that old windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, now let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. To be continued next week on Saturday, hopefully. Unless something goes horribly wrong or I slip in my schedule again. Let's save our progress. Yes. And back to the main screen. No, back! Fuck! J, title screen. Yes. I really have to stop doing that. Maya always has a point. So yeah, see you, and so hopefully the next one will be up. Will be up next week on Saturday, and I'll upload this on YouTube as quickly as I can.